What's going on, everybody? It's your boy 11JUNE24 Dfs here to bring you that WNBA slate breakdown for the 3-game WNBA slate. Now, I know it's a little later than normal for me to get this video out to you guys, but remember last time I worked, then came home, tried to record for you guys, and it was no injury, it was dead. I learned my lesson, and honestly went ahead, got some rest, had a class that I had to do, and I'm here ready to go ahead and break the slate down. Really nice slate that we have on today, 3-gamer after having the showdown slate yesterday. Hopefully you guys are able to make some money on yesterday's slate. Definitely myself kind of bubbled, not even kind of, I bubbled, period, just because I was on Alyssa Smith over Aaliyah, which honestly, if you went ahead and played Aaliyah, then definitely you would have really did pretty well in regards to that. But nonetheless, honestly, good learning point yesterday for showdown, because I really don't like to play showdowns, but I dug in pretty deep to the showdown slate. If you guys got my crazy call, which was Lexi Hull, of course, Lexi Hull, she definitely would have won you some money if you went ahead and played her as your minimum option to go ahead and get into the winner circle. So nonetheless, if you guys want to see more showdown videos, let me know down in the comment section. Run it up, and I will definitely try to provide more of that content for you guys if you guys do want that right there. And yeah, let's go ahead, let's get into today's video. As always, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos I'm putting out. Drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos have helped you guys win some money. Now, I will go ahead and put this out there. I said it yesterday, and I've said it inside of my videos and things like that. If you guys are looking for someone that does a breakdown, especially on days that I'm not able to do them, on the weekends, things like that, my boy Cody, he does breakdowns every day pretty much for the WNBA. I don't think he's only missed like 1 or 2 days because he had to do something out of town for work, but other than that, he will have a breakdown for you guys, and it will typically come out the day before. So if you guys are looking for that, I will make sure I link it in the description today. I forgot to do it yesterday, but it will be in the description for Cody's channel for you to definitely check him out. Very well respected Wnba Dfs player as well, and pretty sure his Discord is free as well. You guys can check that out. I'm in that Discord as well. I'm in my own Discord with the No Days Off group as a whole. So definitely check that out if you guys are looking for more WNBA content and things like that to go ahead and digest. Because, you know, like I said, there's not too many well-respected people in this space, especially that actually cover it, watch the games, and know what they're talking about. And Cody, he's someone that I do actually respect in regards to when it comes down to it. So definitely check out his channel and, you know, run that up over there as well. So looking at it real quick, we got Washington taking on Atlanta. We got some news. Brittany Sykes looks like she is finally going to be back today playing. Of course, I would have fully expect a minutes limit. I don't expect her to play more than 20-ish minutes on today. If they run her more than that, I will be honestly surprised, but she will be back. And I looked at the wording. Looks like Austin more likely is going to be doubtful to play today. For Atlanta, still without Canada. Minnesota Lynx, Dorka, she's good to go. Don Miller out still. For the Las Vegas Aces, Bell, Chelsea Gray out. For the Sparks, Stevens, she's still out. And then for Seattle, same old, you know, regular starters, nothing new over there for them. Some real quick things to note in regards to the spreads and stuff in these games. The only game that has a double-digit spread is going to be that Seattle and the Sparks game, which is 11.5 spread. But everything else, the Aces taking on Minnesota Lynx, that's sitting at a 6.5 spread in favor of the Aces. And then Atlanta taking on Washington. It's only a 7-point spread, even though Washington is still the worst team in the league currently, according to everything else. So should be honestly a really good slate. I'm really actually excited for the slate. I do think it's good all around and should be decent in regards for us cashing on today's slate. So real quick, starting over on the Washington side, I'm going to make this really quick because this is a late video. I don't want it to be too long. Today, I will personally make sure that my player pool is up on the Patreon site. So if you guys are looking for a player pool, exactly players that I'm on, and of course my blurb and how I'm planning on attacking the slate, definitely check that out. For the link for that is down in the description below for you guys to check that out. For the Patreon, it is only $5, and I promise you will make that back. It is Taco Tuesday. My boy BK has already been dropping plays and stuff for you guys as well, and I will have some plays that I will be on myself that I'll be uploading onto the Patreon for you guys. I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite plays on the slate is A'ja Wilson for over her fantasy points scored. She's been crushing it. She's been killing it, and the usage has been super high. Even with Jackie Young coming back, still this is a very good matchup for her here going against the Minnesota Lynx. Not scared of feed defense, not scared of Alana Smith. Definitely do think that she will still be able to go off and be able to have a pretty decent game here in the spot, and they will need her in order for them to win this game, because if they want to actually make it into the Commissioner's Cup, if I'm not mistaken, they still have a chance, then yes, they're definitely going to want to be able to ride the coattail of literally the MVP currently of the league right now in A'ja Wilson. So starting out on DraftKings, if you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. On Washington side, like I said, Sykes looks like she's going to be back. She is expected to play Tuesday. She's been missing for the last 10 games. Likely take time to get her ankle back to 100% in addition to her stamina, but fantasy managers will be expected to pencil her back into the line. So I got her for about 20-ish minutes. She played 30 minutes in the first game going up against New York. Of course, 6 minutes in the game that she got injured. I truly got her for about 20-ish to 22 minutes if they actually run her that. And that's honestly just going off of what they've done with Austin to start the season with the minutes that she was playing. Her first game back, of course, we know she was coming back from the hip. They only played her 20 minutes, and they kept her around that for quite some time. Now, Sykes, different beast, different type of player, really good point per minute ish player as well, and would make a difference if she was actually getting her full run in this game. But still, just having Sykes out there, a floor general. She's pretty decent in regards to playmaking. The pace that she plays with, running up and down, and the defense that she actually brings is really good for this team. And so I actually do like the upside for Sykes being back. Now, at the 9K price tag, I'm not going to mess with that. Maybe over on FanDuel, if she's cheaper over there, I would consider that. But I haven't looked at FanDuel. I never really look at FanDuel anyway. But Sykes, definitely a fatal play over here for me at 9K. Now, if you want to be crazy, you're maxing the $20 or something like that, take one lineup with Sykes. If you feel like maybe, hey, the minute limit thing is a bluff, because we understand minutes limit in WNBA can be totally something crazy and different, as we just seen with Brittany Griner, who I would imagine have been on a minutes limit, played in a double overtime game, and just racked up the fantasy points. So that's one thing to just keep in mind right there about Sykes. But I do think Sykes coming back, that helps with Atkins. Atkins is not going to be a focal point of defenses out here. She's already played going up against Atlanta earlier this season, 36 minutes, dropped 41.5 fantasy points, and having her floor general and Sykes being back out there, someone who can also help her out there on the defensive side, some steals and things like that, she's able to also rack up herself. Love the upside for her here as well. Same thing for Aaliyah Edwards. No Austin. Edwards, she's going to start again. We have seen it. Opposing power forwards going up against Atlanta. They've done pretty decent and pretty well. And she's a very good fantasy point per minute producer when she's out there on the court. 30 minutes, dropped 27 fantasy points, 29, 29, 36, 52, 28, 27. So long as she's getting that starting nod, the rebound upside that she has, the point upside, the defensive upside with the blocks and steals, I love that for Aaliyah Edwards. At 8K, honestly, kind of find it hard not to want to just pencil her into my line. Still working on my core, but right now she's weighing very heavy in regards to being there for me. Outside of that, of course, with no Austin, Dolson, Misha Hines-Allen, going to have to consider both of these guys right here. Dolson, she's turned back the clock, splashed some threes out there, looking pretty decent. She was seeing a pretty decent run out there, 22, 30, 21 minutes. We know what we're going to pretty much get from Big Mama Steph. She's going to go out there, try to splash some threes. I don't hate her at 6'9", but if you're going to pay 6'9" for Dolson, you might as well go ahead and play Misha Hines-Allen. She's going to come out there. She oddly enough can play making things like that. Maybe might take a little bit of a backseat with Sykes being back, but it's a toss-up right here for either one of these two. Not a high priority for me. Again, Edwards is the main one that I want to get to out of the bigs right there for me. With Sykes being back, Van Loo, kind of a second fiddle for me. Same thing with Carly, SWK, Melbourne. I got to see how Sykes shakes back up in this rotation and how they're going to run it. Right now, I'm not going to have too much interest in any of these guys down here for me at all. They're all would be GPP staples in play. Over here on the other side for Atlanta, Ryan, in the game where she should have popped off points-wise, she legit could have did it. She decided she wanted to be a point guard and go out here and just get a ton of assists out here against Chicago Sky. Dropped 44 fantasy points. Still was a very good game. 5 steals. That's amazing, honestly, for her. She dropped 31.5 fantasy points in this game going up against them earlier this season. Shot horribly. 2 of 11 from the field in that game. If the shot can come around, she's actually going to start shooting a little bit more. Maybe this could be a spot we can see her explode at 10-7. I will say there's some other guards, Jackie Young, that are in different games later on that are cheaper and in a pretty good spot that I would rather target and get on today's slate versus paying up for Ryan Howard. Again, like I always do, I'd rather just come down here to Alicia Gray, who I know she's going to play at least 30 minutes. She has some point guard chops herself. She can play, make, and get some assists, but as you've seen Ryan getting 5 and 10 assists, Alicia hasn't had to really do it right there. She's been just going out there, being steady, getting her scoring on, and doing what she does out there with that. She did drop 33 fantasy points in this game going up against Washington earlier this season. Shot 4 of 6 from 3. All those are boost right there for me in regards to what she can go out here and do. 2 steals, a block, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. I don't mind just dropping down to the 8-7 for Alicia Gray if I actually am considering right there. Now, granted, again, when you're looking at it, Alicia Gray, Atkins, they're both right there. I'd rather just play Atkins over Alicia Gray anyway in that spot in position. Outside of that, Tina Charles, smash spot for her. We've been attacking Washington with opposing bigs continuously. It's been nonstop in regards to attacking Washington with the opposing bigs. And Tina Charles in this game earlier, 41.75 fantasy points, 17 points, 15 rebounds. Love the upside for Tina Charles here at 9.5. Definitely think she's appropriately priced. I do like the price tag for her here for me on today's slate. And then of course knowing that she could bring some block and steal upside, drain some threes out there if need be. I'm not too trustworthy in Cheyenne Parker in regards to what she can go out there and do and bring for me. But when you look at the last couple of games in regard to the bigs going up against them, we just seen Boston. She could have had a better game. Melissa Smith, she did pretty well, double in her own right out there as well. And then the last game that they recently played, going up against New York, which was closer than a lot of people probably expected. Junko Jones just popped off for 29 points versus them. So Tina Charles in the exact same boat. Love the upside for her here, and I do would rather go to her over Cheyenne Parker at this position spot. Outside of that, not messing with Haley Jones. Aerial Powers at 6'1". I do have to have some interest. She is seeing decent minutes, a very good fantasy point per minute producer. 19.75 fantasy points in 23 minutes in this game earlier this season. I'm not gonna ape great complain about that. I will say that I'm seeing people talk about Nas Hillman. She is seeing steady minutes. She is seeing the consistency in the minutes over her last couple games. Now, watch, we're gonna jump on to the Nas Hillman show. And Nas is going to go out here and play about 10 minutes, and it's going to burn us. And that's what's going to irritate me. But I will have to say, if you're looking for a punt play, then Nas Hillman will be your girl. Crystal Dangerfield played over 20 minutes and did nothing. Just play Aerial Powers, man. Let Aerial Powers just get those damn minutes, because Dangerfield's not going to do anything. That's why she got waived from Dallas. That's why she's not on the team anymore. That's why she's gone. Going over to Minnesota Lynx, taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Should be another good game right here for these teams. This will be the second time that they're playing, and the Aces blew the Lynx out of the water. But still, in that game, Fee was Fee. Double in the game, 18 points, 13 rebounds earlier. And again, I'm not going to hate if you go there. We know she has at least 40 fantasy points is what she's right around, hovering around to go out there and get you. At 11-7, you got to decide, am I going to pay up for Fee, or do I want to try to get up to Asia, who is 11K, 1,100, yeah. 1,100 more than what she is. So definitely decisions to be made. I'm not going to say that it's a bad move to go ahead and play Fee, but not someone that I'm penciling that I have to go ahead and get to and play. But definitely in consideration if you want to go there on the slate. I will say, if you don't play Fee, I do not mind coming down and just taking the chance on Alana Smith. Alana Smith in this game going up against them didn't do bad. 22.5 fantasy points, 31 minutes. I do believe the upside could be a bit more for her. I really do. 3 of 8 from the field. Still, she brings it on the defensive side. Was able to do a little bit on defensive chops, 2 blocks, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, only 7 points. I do think that she can go out here and possibly get a double-double if need be. Opposing centers have actually played pretty decent going up against the Aces. Kia Stokes' defense, not anything that I'm too scared about. And Alana, long as she stays out of foul trouble, we know for a fact can pop in a big way. So Alana Smith, do like her. Kayla McBride, she's never really played going up against her former team all that well. I will say she did have 3 steals, 4 assists, and 11 points in that prior game. Shot 3 of 11, though. That was pretty much the downside for her here. And then Courtney Williams, if it wasn't for the fact that her minutes seemed to just be getting sapped, again, she played 28 minutes going up against Seattle. It's such up and down. Shot 1 of 11. Still, pretty decent game for her. I will say she's more in the GPP realm for me. At that 7-7 price tag, I will say I have to take that into... I'd have to take some consideration for her here at that spot at the 7-7. Definitely will be on my radar. If you tell me she will actually be able to come out here and play 25-ish, 20-something plus minutes. She dropped 32.5 fantasy points against them earlier this season. 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 12 points. She's not going to go out here and shoot 1 of 11 again. Bounce back spot. Minutes have been up and down, but vet going up against another vet team, which, might have been why she didn't play too many minutes going up against the Phoenix Mercury. They really probably just didn't think that they needed her here in the spot. Same thing against the Sparks. Didn't think they needed her. Played very well going up against Dallas in limited minutes. So GPP option 7-7. I like the fact that she's under the AK range. If I got to choose between her and McBride, I will definitely come down here to Courtney Williams and just take the chance right there. Everyone else over here, Carlton, not really going to go there. Heidemann, definitely not going there. She can't hit anything to save her life. Zandy, Olivia, both of these I will have to have consideration because they are in the rotation. They are seeing minutes and they are playing. Not must staples or anything like that, but mainly for me, Fee, Alana Smith, Courtney Williams would be the ones that I would say that you want to take a chance in gander and look to if you want to go anywhere right there for them. All right. And over to the other side, Las Vegas Aces. Again, Asia Wilson. There's nothing else that I got to say about that. It's Asia. Plum, 10K versus Jackie Young, who's not sick anymore. Looks like should be fine. Is going to play her no allotments of minutes. Can go out here and get me 40-ish fantasy points, and definitely much cheaper than Plum. I would rather take that right there. 19 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds in this exact same matchup a couple weeks ago. Really good spot. Again, I will go to Jackie Young before I go up and play Kelsey Plum at that 10K price tag. Outside of that, Tiffany Hayes, if you cannot get up to Jackie Young and you for some reason wanted to play Plum, I will come down to Tiffany Hayes. She's going to play at least mid-ish, 23, 25-ish minutes out there. Fantasy point production has been very well for her. I will go right back there to her. I think that, of course, Clark, Martin, their minutes are going to probably get sat. Martin at 5'9", I'm not going to take that. She's not starting. She's going to see maybe 14, 15 minutes. Not going to go there. Not going to play it. And I understand in the game that they played earlier going up against Minnesota, she played 21 minutes, 16.75 fantasy points. That should be Tiffany Hayes out there getting those minutes right now. So I'm not going to go there for Martin, 5'9". That's just a little bit way too much for me. Stokes, not going to go there. Really, it's just Asia Wilson, Jackie Young, Tiffany Hayes for what I'm going to take over here from this team. That will make it into my player pool and the players that I will consider. Over here for the Sparks taking on Seattle. Again, I'm going to say, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the uploads that I put out on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos have helped you guys win some money. So Spark side, I am a sucker for Wnba. 10-9. The usage and everything, balls in her hand. I just love the upside now. I will say that the Sparks, not Sparks, the Storm in their last game going up against Minnesota, they did decent on trying to control Fee, but they didn't control Fee. Fee still had 19, 14, and 3 assists. And I want to say this should be the second time that they are playing against the... Oh, no, they haven't played Seattle yet. But I like Wnba here. It's not a bad spot at all. The upside, the double-double upside, just the usage and everything. I know that she hasn't... she's only popped, what, over 40 in 2 out of the last 5 games. Don't mind Wnba at all. 10-9. Safe to me. 35 upside, 35 and upside for her here. Brink, I know she's the cover picture for today. It was just, I needed a really good picture, and honestly, good photo to use for her. Don't mind her. Definitely GPP upside if you want to take it there. If she can knock down her threes, play defense, get those blocks and stuff that she actually can go out there and get. I actually do like her at the A2 GPP only. I will say I have some interest in Lexi Brown. Looks like she might be back. The shooting, the scoring, the defense, the playmaking, and everything for her at 6,400. I'm not going to mind that, but I will say, if I'm going to pay up 6,400 for Lexi Brown, I will just go ahead and play Ari McDonald, who I know is going to come in and play at least 20 minutes and has the upside to do what I need her to do. And I do think that she would be a mid-tier option that we can go to on today's slate and heavy in consideration for a player for me today at that guard position. Kia Nurse, I'm not too interested. Again, we know Nurse has to hit her shot. She's been putrid over the last several games. Now, if you think she can go out here and have a Kayla McBride game, shooting 7 of 10 from 3, then definitely go ahead, by all means, play Kia Nurse. But as you can see, if the shot's not falling, they're going to pull her off the court. They're not going to play her. They're not going to give her the burn and run. So at 5'8", again, I'd rather just go ahead and play Ari McDonald, who has some more security to me that I can actually go to. Clarendon at 6K, again, I'd rather just play Ari McDonald, who is right there pretty much for the same price tag for her. Outside of that, you can mess with Talbot. I will say they are giving her run. She's seen at least double-digit minutes in 4 straight games. It's just a matter of her actually giving us some upside. Now, she shot 1 of 7 in this game going against Minnesota. If that shot can actually start landing for her, and maybe she can knock down some threes, she'll put up a high number. I don't mind her as a punt play if you get there on today. Yuri, another one I would have to take in consideration. You are going up against Seattle, who has 2 really good bigs in NECA and Ezzy, and then Russell coming off the bench. So the upside could definitely be there for her to at least get you double-digit fantasy point production from her. So I don't mind that, but I will say Talbot, that's definitely just a play that's sticking out to me as a possibility. But main plays for me over here, Wnba, Lexi Brown, GPP, Ari McDonald for the safety, and Rickea Jackson, not really looking too much for her here. I don't have a feel honestly for Rickea. She probably would make the player pool for me just because she's in a mid-tier option and she's still starting technically for them. So definitely a consideration for her, but nothing really is popping out for me for Rickea here in the spot. Going over to the other side, Seattle, Lloyd. I don't know what else to say about Lloyd. I mean, Lloyd is a gold mamba. She can go out here. She will do what she got to do. Just go off. 10-5, not a bad price tag. Ezzy, love the upside for Ezzy here in the spot. I understand that today is technically NECA going up against a former team, but it's in Seattle. I think maybe when she goes to LA, that is when we're gonna get the big NECA game against the Sparks. I don't think it's gonna be today in Seattle. I love the upside here for Ezzy over NECA simply because look at what she is doing on the block and steal. Like, that is just, it's mind-boggling. And honestly, if she would have actually scored double-digit points like what she's been doing consistently in the prior 4 games, she would have had an amazing fantasy night out there. Honestly, I mean, they got the asses whooped 64-83. So there's really not too much. She shot bad, 2 of 8, 0 of 2 from 3. Really didn't get anything going in that game at all whatsoever. So bounce back spot for her. The block is still upside. The sparks will allow you to get a ton, and I mean a ton, of blocks and steals going up against him. So the upside for her to actually do what she's been doing and doing very well over the last several games is there. I think the floor for her here today has to be around the 40 mark. As you can tell, honestly, I kind of don't see how I get off of playing Ezzy today. I really love the upside for Ezzy here in the spot. And if you want any indication of how many blocks she could possibly be in store for, just now, last game, the Aces, which sadly they lost going up against the Sparks, Asia had 6 blocks in that game, 2 steals, 8 rebounds, and Asia dropped 31 fantasy points. Now, I understand Ezzy isn't necessarily going to go out here and drop 31 points real life, but she definitely can go out here and get me about 15, 16 points, definitely can get me 4 blocks, 2 steals, at least about 7 to 8 rebounds, and put up a freaking monster of a night of a score. And I just love the upside for it. I can't talk enough about it. Just come down here to it. Skylar Diggins-Smith definitely has found the footing, has looked pretty good over her last couple of games. Of course, blowout, didn't shoot very well, 3 of 12, but other than that, the shots been falling over the last couple of games. She'll get right back to it, 9-2. Definitely in consideration if I'm not going to pay up for my Jackie Young or anything like that. I can definitely see myself coming down to Skylar Diggins-Smith. Outside of that, Vivian's, I'll have to have her in consideration just because she's a starter. She's seeing minutes. If the shot's falling and she's rebounding, she plays very well. I'll consider her, but she's not something I'm like, yes, I have to play Vivian's on today. Jonah Holmes, Sammy Whitcomb, Mercedes Russell, Horston will be the only other person that really piques the interest because I know Horston's going to get those minutes and typically does actually put up a decent fantasy point at home versus on the road and stuff like that. So I don't mind going to Horston here as something to get, but I just feel like Ezzy is going to be the main staple for me over here for it. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I think I took this right around 20-ish minutes, so hopefully you guys got a little something from this video. Definitely cash out on today. Again, if you guys are looking for my player pool, I will have that up to date on the site. I'm actually about to go ahead and pencil it in, start working on some things for that, get some bets and stuff posted as well. Hopefully you guys do, not even hopefully, you guys are going to cash out. We're going to cash it. It is 20K to first. Let's go ahead. Let's smack on today. Get right back at it. I think we have a showdown tomorrow, and hey, let's do the damn thing. Good luck, everybody. See you guys tomorrow.